Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti channel by Swami Nikhilananda. My humble prostrations to the all-pervading Brahman, to my worshipful Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, to Ram Parivar and all sages and saints, and to each of you divine soul watching today's satsang. We are currently studying the Holy Scripture, Mysticism of Ramayana, commentaries by my Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji Maharaj, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. So currently we are studying the Ayodhya Kand of the Ramayana, in which Rama and Sita are banished to go into the forest at the two boons that we had discussed yesterday that Dashratha had given to his queen Kaikeyi. So let's continue. During that time, Sita and then Lakshmana appeared at the palace, asserting their intense love for Rama. They both gained permission from Rama to abandon all family ties and comforts of the palace and to accompany him into forest life. So it's important to know they did that of their own accord and because they wanted to, giving up all the comforts and luxuries and choosing to go into the forest to support Lakshmana, to support his brother, and Sita to support her husband, Lord Rama. After taking leave of King Dashratha and Guru Vasishtha, Rama, Lakshmana and Sita were carried towards the forest in the royal chariot driven by Sumantra, the king's minister and charioteer. As they moved away from the city, many of the citizens of Ayodhya, who had just one day before been so jubilant about the forthcoming coronation, followed behind for a while, crying piteously over their loss, because they all loved Lord Rama so much. During the first day, these three divine personalities stopped to rest beside the river Ganges. There they were greeted by Guha, the king of the Nishad tribe of boatsmen, who brought gifts with great devotion and tried to make them as comfortable as possible. With Lakshmana and Guha keeping guard, Rama, Sita and Sumantra slept peacefully that first night in the forest. When Rama awoke, he asked for the sap of the banyan tree so that he could convert his hair into matted locks, the mark of a forest ascetic. Seeing this, Sumantra realized that Rama's mind was set on forest life and that he would not be able to convince him to return to Ayodhya as King Dashratha had hoped. After trying to convince Sita to return and again failing, the minister set out for Ayodhya, overcome with dejection at the thought of separation from Rama and afraid to face the sorrow that his failure would bring to King Dashratha. The highest ideal presented in the Ramayana is the coronation of Rama in Ayodhya and the establishment of Ramarajya, or Rama's rule of the kingdom. However, as the dramatic events in Ayodhya Kand illustrate, certain important matters must be settled and a long exile in the forest is necessary before those glorious events can take place. Similarly, the highest goal before an aspirant is to enthrone Rama, the divine self within his heart, through the attainment of mukti or self-realization. However, that attainment is not possible without total integration of one's personality through an intense movement of sadhana or spiritual discipline. The day before the coronation was to take place in Ayodhya, everyone was joyous and filled with eager anticipation. Then, without warning, the whole situation suddenly changed as a result of the plotting of Manthara and Kaikeyi. Instead of witnessing Rama's jubilant coronation, everyone was forced to witness his banishment. So adversity and prosperity can alternate in a flick of a second. Much in the same way, it may seem to an aspirant who is advancing in meditation that the blessed day of self-realization is near at hand. Yet in the Rajasic and Tamasic plane within the mind, where personality integration has not taken place, hidden defects lurk every ever ready to drag the aspirant down as he tries to ascend to the mystic throne. Hidden in the unconscious, there are many mantras and kaikais ready to distort one's vision and pervert one's intellect. Therefore, they say that the sadhana path is not so easy. Within us, we have good and bad from many lifetimes. These are called samskaras or impressions, and they keep coming up. That's why we have to be always humble and walking very respectfully on the holy journey. Thus, before the jiva or individual soul, symbolized by Dashratha, can witness the enthronement of Rama, it must settle matters with the three gunas. Those are Dashratha's three wives, and especially with the tamasic elements within the mind, which is Kaikai. Which are ready at any moment to sabotage one's loftiest expectations. Any time ego may come up or lust may come up. So we have to be very careful on this journey. As the plot of the Ramayana unfolds, you will see how Rama, the emergent soul bent upon enlightenment, goes away from Ayodhya to the forest for 14 years, and then, after accomplishing many heroic deeds of a divine nature, he returns and rules Ayodhya. Which means first we have to go through the tapasya part, our journey. In the spiritual movement, there is a similar unfoldment. Although Rama abides at every moment in one's heart, one cannot enthrone him or become one with his glorious presence until the demons that abide in the forests and cities of the unconscious are destroyed by a deep-rooted transformation within one's personality. So that is the forest, going within our consciousness and slaying all these demons of anger, lust, greed, passion, jealousy, and so many of these emotions that distract us. Through sadhana, an aspirant turns away, so to speak, from his heart, which is impure and veiled by impressions of attachment and hatred, and he wages a relentless battle against the old pattern of unconscious impressions and subtle desires. Finally, after these patient and persevering efforts have borne their fruits, the aspirant returns to his Ayodhya, the center of his being, and becomes one with the divine self, the ruler of the kingdom of heaven. So only when the demons and all the obstacles are removed can Rama rule the kingdom. Much in the same way, only once we have purified ourselves internally can we see ourself, the self within us, the shining light of God. Rama's entry into the forest represents a period of spiritual withdrawal, a stage in sadhana in which one's mind and senses undergo a great transformation as they are withdrawn from the normal realities of the world through reflection and meditation. It's called Shravan Manan Nididhyasan. So when we do satsanga or good association, or we hear some spiritual discourses, we should first hear with great attention, then we should contemplate on it, which is called the Manan, and finally we should meditate on it, and that's the Nididhyasan part. So it symbolizes a more intense period of sadhana for an aspirant, which leads to the development of vairagya and viveka, dispassion and discriminative knowledge. So when we have done this tapasya for a long time, that's when vairagya is the fruit that shows up, that detaches us from the world process, and we start enjoying the inner serenity within. And viveka is discriminative knowledge. What is that? To know the difference between the unreal and the real. The true knowledge is knowing I am not this body, mind, intellect, ego. All these are perpetually changing and illusory, whereas my own self, my Atma, my consciousness is the reality. Once we get that knowledge, that's when we say we have Viveka. Now we have become qualified aspirants to walk on this holy path. So as his spiritual aspiration grows, an aspirant begins to understand that all those things that seem to make his life comfortable, his family and friends, his home, his possessions, they are all transient and fraught with illusion. Instead of that, now his mind is continuing to turn inwards, and the objects of the world for pleasure, his mind now turns towards the divine self in search of deeper joy. So he no longer enjoys the transient material things and just these sense pleasures. He turns from Preya Marg to Shreya Marg. Preya Marg is the path of the senses, and Shreya Marg is the path of divinity or God. From what is pleasant to what is good. So instead of just titillating the senses and going after them, a serious aspirant realizes what is good, and therefore he puts more time in meditation and purification. So that is the essence. Rama's undaunted personality is the symbol of that resolute spiritual movement away from the world of Preya, symbolized by the royal kingdom, towards the highest good, which is self-realization. So very deep, and we will continue this journey in tomorrow's satsang. Om Tat Sat.